Hey guys, welcome to the Overnight Coder. This is going to be WordPress Directory Tutorial 2026 Part 3. This one I'm going to keep short as well. We're just going to install JetEngine, give you some of the overview that JetEngine actually uses. So JetEngine is going to handle all of my dynamic pieces in a WordPress website, right? So I'm just going to go to the website so you can see it's here. I'll have some links down at the bottom. Right now they have a great sale. This isn't really an affiliate pitch, I promise. I build with JetEngine. I will tell you that I worked many years ago. I worked with JetEngine on one site because I thought, after trying multiple different plugins and multiple different structures, and after I was working on a kiteboarding directory, and after working on that for about, I want to say 3 days, I scrapped the whole project, started over so I could learn it more. And then I did that again, and within 2 weeks, I was pretty proficient with kind of building what I needed. Now here's the hard part. I didn't find anything back then that just showed me how to build the directory, right? There's no, hey, claim this button. It's bits and pieces of dynamic content that you still have to use your mind for in how you want to do things, right? And the thing is, I could do anything with this tool set. There was nothing with JetEngine and Elementor Pro that I really, at what I was trying to do, there was nothing that I couldn't do. If I could think about it, I could build it. So this led me to dropping all of their tool sets. If somebody comes to me and says, hey, I want a shop, I'm not going out and looking for a shop theme. I'm Hello Elementor, maybe a template kit, maybe not, and using JetEngine with their tools because I am so comfortable with the fact that this can make anything custom. It's not like grabbing a theme and then your client coming back and saying, hey, by the way, I wanted to know if we could do this, this, and this. And you're like, well, shoot, that's going to take that's going to take 3 other plugins that we have to mash in here. And JetEngine all works together with Elementor as well as some other editors now. So I prefer Elementor. I can't speak for any of the others. I do know that they've come a long way. But here it is in a nutshell. This is going to create your dynamic website structure. So custom post types. That's things like blogs are a custom post type. My businesses are going to be a custom post type. Custom post type will be anything that, so if I call it business, I can also have meta fields inside that business, right? So you know how a blog post has what? Title, description, featured image, tags, category. Well, with a custom post type, I can create whatever I want. So instead of blog, I create business, and I can create those fields, as many as I want, for that business. So really cool, because then I can utilize those in other places. Can I show a business on the homepage? Can I show 3 businesses? Can I make those in random order? So your custom post type is definitely where it's at and what I use. Just for multiple different reasons. They also have, and you can read through this on your own. I'm just on the Crocoblock. Matter of fact, I'll go to the main page just so you can see. I'm on the main page, and it'll just go through some of the stuff it does, right? No code, stunning interactive effects. Some of these things are built in. Obviously, e-commerce covers WooCommerce, things like that. You can build shops. You can build you can still use WooCommerce with it, right? Matter of fact, they recommend with the Woo product, JetWoo, is what it used to be called. I'm sure it's here. Instead of getting into all that, let's work on some of the things that we will be using, right? So I do use this. I highly recommend it. I'm going to start off with JetEngine and JetEngine and JetElements down the line. And there's like, I never even checked this out, Jet Messenger. Seems really cool. Here's JetWoo Builder. So we're going to start off with JetEngine and JetElements and what those are, just so you can see the official descriptions. And if you buy this, I would go all inclusive, right? Don't just buy the $68 JetEngine. Go inclusive, buy all the add-ons for one website or multiple websites. Or I know this seems like a lot, but if you're a freelancer, this is a heck of a deal. $649. This is unlimited sites, right? Well, I can charge one client $649 for a website and have this tool set for the rest of my clients for the rest of my life, right? And of course, I'd charge more than $649, but again, this is a heck of a deal. Trust me when you get in there and you're like, wait, I can use this for everything. So JetEngine, what is it? WordPress dynamic content plugin for Elementor, Gutenberg, and Bricks. Obviously, that needs to be updated, but that's fine. They're super busy. Taxonomies. Taxonomies, just to give you an explanation, taxonomies are, remember blog posts, we said you can add categories and tags. That's all the stuff on the right of WordPress when you're adding a blog post. We can add our own taxonomies. Custom fields is a plus, meta boxes, of course, and option pages. Here, this is perfect. When you're developing things on a page, we like to develop it once, right? Think about, I'm going to use the basic blog post, right? So I'm going to go back to my website just to give you an example of what they're talking about, and then we'll do the quick install. I'm going to scroll down here to my blog post. So you can scroll down to any site, right? So a blog post, I don't want to have to, where are we at? Oh, I've only got one. Huh. All right, let's go to the doctor cards. So doctor card, I don't want to have to create this card every time, hit duplicate, 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 duplicate on the home page. What you do, and what they're talking about here, is we create it one time, right? We use a dynamic image from the blog post featured image. We have the title, we have the category, we have how much they charge an hour. We have the reviews. This looks like a meta description, a description or an excerpt. And these look like maybe some tags, right? And whether they call them this or not, once you create that once, now let's look at one of these, right? I have a title, this looks like a category that he falls in, or doctor type. This looks like content. This looks like some social media from his perspective. Once we build this card once, we're able to utilize that card in multiple different spots. So in here, I have 2 columns of a total of 4. Right, is what I would say. So I build this card once. I say, hey, I want 2 columns of the card, and I want 4 issues of the card. So that's what you're seeing here. I could have said 6 and had 6. So when we build this, we're building a card once, and the dynamic aspect will pull from our doctors and allow us to use a set like this or a grid like this anywhere we want. So hopefully that's not too confusing. I won't go too deep into it, but take a look at the page. This is the grid we just talked about. We can design our grid layout, use dynamic stuff, and then JetElements is pretty much, we're going to use it for design, right? It's got a lot of design features that I like, pricing stuff that we like, just a lot of design features, the map, just different beautiful features that we'll be using earlier on. So I'm going to start with those 2. Don't get it confused. By the time we're done with this, we're going to cover Jet Smart Filters, Jet Search. I'm going to skip Jet Menu, probably Jet Tabs, Jet Blocks. And they have a bunch of plugins that we can utilize. Now, the good thing about these plugins, keep in mind, there's more about this feature that I'd love to try. Keep in mind that all these plugins work together, and with Elementor, they work flawlessly. So it's not like adding 15 plugins that are all from different companies, right? We know what happens there on update day. Some of them don't work with others, and we run into a huge issue. So the best thing I could find, and this is key for me, was these plugins all work together, right? This company works with all their plugins. They've tested it. Elementor works flawlessly with all of them. On update day, I usually have no issues, and that's 99% of the time. I'm giving it that 1% because I guess there might be a time when maybe Elementor came out today and JetEngine comes out tomorrow. Who knows? I also don't update JetEngine or Elementor on the first day. So you're gonna see a different way to upload these, right? So I'm gonna go to my backend site. I've downloaded my JetEngine plugin. So I'm gonna go here, plugins. I'm gonna add a new plugin and upload a plugin, and I am gonna select JetEngine. Install, activate. I am probably on an outdated version. We're gonna find out here in a minute. Perfect. So once I have the JetEngine plugin, there's a bunch of stuff you can do. If I come here, or if I go to the CrocoBlock, has a tab that I can go to the dashboard. Now I'm not gonna add my license on film, so here I haven't activated, but here is the site where you want to activate your license. Make sure it's activated. Once you're license is activated, you can simply get more plugins by clicking this. It'll automatically install them. Now, I don't recommend installing everything and then figuring out what you need, right? Even if we delete a plugin, it's going to leave traces in your database, and if you're not comfortable with clearing those out, you don't want to do that. So enable these as you need them, right? Super easy. Also in here, I'm going to be honest, that's usually all I use this area for, adding my plugins. Now in this case, I have a plugin already sitting around, so I am going to end up getting the plugin for JetElements. I'll end up clicking this, and I'll have those 2 plugins installed. Here, JetEngine, we're going to be spending a little bit of time, and we'll go over that. So if I start here, just in the first JetEngine tab, I've got some tabs here, and it's got some things that we could be using, right? So one of the first things we'll use we'll be using the profile builder, or the maps listing, or dynamic visibility, right? And these are some things like, if I check that on, what happens? Well, dynamic visibility is great, and we'll end up using that. But right now I'm going to turn everything off and just click save, or not click anything. Performance, I might as well turn these off, right? I'm only using Elementor, so I don't need the blocks view, I don't need bricks view, and I'm going to click save, tweaking configs. Here, skins manager, I'm not going to be using this just yet. And matter of fact, for the rest of these, we're just going to kind of skip over these because we're not using these. We will be using some of these features soon, but I just kind of wanted to get in the state of showing you, this is how we install JetEngine, and this is where we go from there. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. The next video, we're going to get into creating custom post types, and that's where we'll actually dive into some of those features, and I'll see you soon.